athletic director, is here to tell us about it. IUP has had a stellar year, and Jack's been there calling most of it, Steve.
Absolutely. Jack's been around for it. We're very proud of the year we've had. And, we attempted this back in February, but unfortunately the weather didn't cooperate, so we had to cancel it because our games got postponed the evening that we planned the event around. So we're taking another shot at it. And, looking out your window, I was thinking it's a little different scenario when we planned this for April 19th, but it's still snowing. But so Thursday at 4 p.m. in the KCAC, the event will take place. And it's really just to recognize our coaches and student athletes who have had a very successful year to this point. And it's also for our community because, our community is a big component of our success, whether it be financial support at games, bringing atmosphere and crowds to our home events and on the road through our playoff run. So, it's also a big thank you to the community and our supporters for what they do for IUP athletics and IUP in general. Yeah.
And Jack, of course, you saw so much of it.
Well, Steve, tell us about what particular teams. We know some of them, but who all will be mentioned?
We'll have most of our teams will be there. So all of our teams have qualified for the postseason, and the last year are going to be there. So fortunately for me as athletic director, it's great news that we're going to have most of our teams there. And, last time I was on with you guys was in February, and we just came off a successful fall round with football and volleyball and men's golf and the championships and successes they had. And, I'm happy to report, as you guys know, the winner was just as successful. Women's basketball for the first time in program history got to the NCAA Final Four, had a spectacular run out in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Men's basketball continue to do what they do. They won their 7th divisional title in the last 8 years, which is a huge accomplishment if you take the grind of a 22-game regular season schedule.
It's a grind, all right.
And, that was a great accomplishment. Our swimming team sent some student athletes back to the national championship site for the first time in about 4 years. And we had another successful track and field with DJ Horton, our continual pole vault champion, who broke his own records again this year and got back to the national championship. So very proud of what's been accomplished. And I said it before, and I say it again, is we get to lead a lot of sentences off this year with for the first time since or for the first time ever. Yeah. And so it's been really good to follow up on last year's success with some deeper postseason runs and some deeper runs into the NCAA playoffs.
I know those sports that have, the big face in Indiana Borough or in Indiana County, the basketball teams, the football team, the volleyball team even. These are teams that have big profiles in the IUP sports community. But the other sports are not lesser sports, and the athletes are not lesser athletes. They're really high quality.
Absolutely. If you take a look around at what's going on, you take this weekend, for example, our tennis team's getting ready to play for another PSAC championship. They could go back-to-back. Our lacrosse team is nationally ranked right now. They were in the top 25. And so absolutely every student athlete we have puts in the same time, the same grind, and same with the coaches. And, it's really spectacular. So we're expecting a really strong finish to our spring. Unfortunately, our baseball and softball teams just haven't been able to really get to play very much yet because of the inclement weather. But hopefully this breaks after this little bout here, and they can get into a little bit of consistent play. But, we're expecting a good, strong finish to the spring as well for those sports.
Mm-hmm. Steve, the thing that I've noticed over the years with these athletes is go beyond that in the classroom and the GPAs and just some of the work that these student athletes do it's incredible.
Absolutely. I got to do a report yesterday at a meeting I was in, and we started talking about that. And one thing we take pride in is the PSAC gives out an award at the final site of every championship for the student athlete at the final site who has the highest GPA of anyone there. And that's one of the things we put in our strategic plan was we want to lead our conference in that award, because to get to the final site means you've been successful in a competitive sense. And then once you get there, you got to have the academic prowess as an individual. And we're proud to say we lead the conference. And this year we've won 6 of those this academic year. So we take pride. I think we got another one coming here very soon, from what I understand. So that's something we take pride in. We take a lot of pride in our graduation rates. And also to follow up on that, Jack, is our community service. Our coaches do a great job, and our student athletes take initiative to get out in the community, whether it be raising funds for Make-A-Wish or just going to a local school and reading to the elementary kids. Those things cause impact. So we've really been focusing on the community, not so much service, but engagement, actually getting out there and engaging with the community, not just going out and, doing service, but actually making an impact and hopefully, changing someone's future about the way they look at going into higher education.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I know the Miracle League is so grateful for the participation of IUP athletes there.
Absolutely. I know we've had multiple teams, and our women's basketball is the consistent team there. But all you got to do is go there one time and watch our student athletes and say, boy, they're making an impact. They're not just going to stand in with their arms crossed. They're making an impact. And it's also great because, our student athletes are getting a lot out of that as well. So they're seeing what impact they can have, and it's giving them a feeling of gratitude that they can take and hopefully take the rest of their lives with them.
One of the things that happened this past year during the basketball season was the Make-A-Wish, and the football team was there that night. A lot of the players were represented. Some of the coaches were there. And, that was another, and there was a presentation made. So, again, there's your community involvement.
Absolutely. That was a great night. So we got that night because our student athletes raised over $4,000 the previous year for Make-A-Wish through NCAA's Division II program. So we get to do a Make-A-Wish reveal. Our football team showed up and did some fundraising. We raised over $1,000 for Make-A-Wish just that night alone. And we got to be part of granting a young man a wish to go to Disney World. And it was really a moving night.
That was great. That was really super.
I've had as many comments on that initiative, Jack, just that one night from people as anything we've done, just to see the impact that had on that young man. And he was only 3 or 4 years old. It was sad, but it was also very moving. And it was great to see our football team and other student athletes from SAC.
Well, what I like, too, is the players came over personally and presented themselves to the young man. And it was just exciting. It was thrilling.
Absolutely. One of the best nights we've had with an initiative like that, for sure.
What's in the future here? What are we looking at IUP athletics in the future? Off the court, or off the field.
We're going to. Our coaches are very committed. They understand that all these things off the court, off the field, keep the program successful on the field. So I think you're going to see more of the same. Our coaches, we got a great group of coaches right now who are really, not just conference-wise, not just regional, but they're starting to make noise on the national scene. So they understand the importance of all these components in the development of the student athlete, and it does make us better on the field, on the court, by doing all these other things. So I think you're going to see a lot more of the same, and it continues to, they continue to outdo themselves with their initiatives and getting their student athletes involved in all these different activities. Because at the end of the day, we say, we want you to do more than just be an athlete here. We want you to be a student, and that means academically, socially, community-wise, and that's important, and it's part of it's part of the draw to IUP athletics.
IUP Athletic Director Steve Roach with us here on Indiana in the Morning. So on Thursday, what is happening, and who do you want to show up?
We want everyone to show up. It's a family-friendly event starting at 4 p.m., remarks happening at 4:45. We're not going to get all of our teams there, but for good reason, because we got some teams traveling to championships and whatnot. So, but we're going to have a majority of our teams there. They're going to be recognized. There's going to be light refreshments and go from about 4 p.m. till 5:30. It's just a social atmosphere to come, have a couple of refreshments, and socialize. Student athletes will be on hand once they get introduced, and we'll have some brief remarks, and really just a way to say to the student athletes, great job, and thank you to the community. So hopefully the entire community is invited, all of our supporters, and anyone who wants to come be part of it. You're more than welcome, and we hope everyone shows up and takes part in the celebration of both sides of it.
Lobby of the Kovalchick Complex.
Yeah, second floor now. That's up on the
second floor.
Yeah, second floor, overlooking the basketball court.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice. That'll be a great night, Jack.
A lot of things going on, a lot of positive things. And I go back to you being a local guy, Indiana high school, went away, came back. I know they talk about dream jobs. I don't know if it was your dream job, but you got to be happy that you're a big part of this.
Oh, for me, it was for my wife and I both. It was the perfect fit as far as getting to a place like IUP, getting back home. We liked where we were, and this is one of the jobs that we thought, okay, if that ever comes open, it's kind of always been on the radar, knowing what IUP is and what it stands for, and we were thrilled with the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful, Steve. Thanks for coming in.
Great, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Thursday night. 4:30, you said, correct?
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
And 4:45 are remarks.
There you go. Wonderful, wonderful. Everybody should turn out for that. It is Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1160.